Namaskar. Today I will tell you about the groundwater model techniques which are employed in the groundwater investigation or groundwater exploration. As I have already told you, groundwater is a hidden resource not seen on the ground surface. The study of groundwater involve under both natural and artificial boundary conditions groundwater modeling techniques. There are various types of models which are used in the study of the groundwater. These models are porous media models, miscellaneous analog models, electric analog models, and digital computer model. So, these are the four types of models which are used. But nowadays, digital computer models are widely used and very important. They will give the quick results. So, here I will tell you first type of model, that is porous sand models. Now, porous sand models are of two types: sand tank models and transparent models. Sand tanks models are scaled models according to the aquifer present in the field. We are making this model in the laboratory in a watertight boxes. So, we are transferring the field conditions in the lab in the form of a watertight box, and here for the measurement of the water level we will put the piezometer tube, and it is filled with these models. Watertight boxes are filled with the sand, and so here we have transferred the condition. Now, we will see here behavior of the water table and movement of the groundwater in this model in the lab itself. Another model is the transparent model. As name indicates, it is very good for the demonstration purpose, and it is a very good tool for the education purpose. Now, as the name suggests, it is a transparent, it is a visible, everything is visible in this model. It is consists of Pyrex glass, crushed Pyrex glass, and mineral oil is used here in this. So, all these piezometers, everything is of glass. So, we can easily see this model, behavior of the model, we can see the behavior of these water levels in the well, means mineral oil is used, so we can see the behavior. So, these are good for the demonstration purpose. So, this is the one type of model, that is sand porous model. Another model is the analog model. Now, in all these models, analog models also, groundwater flow equation is used, and you see there is analogy between groundwater flow, heat flow, and electric current flow. Same law can be used for the flow of these three. There are 5 types of miscellaneous analog models. Number is viscous liquid model. Second is membrane model. Third is Mori pattern model. Fourth is thermal model, and fifth is blotting paper model. So, I will tell you about the first, that is viscous fluid liquid model. Viscous liquid model. So, here as the name suggests, a liquid which is viscous is flows between two parallel plates. The distance between this plate is about 1 millimeter, and this type of model first is developed by Halesa in the year 1897. So, it is also known as Halesa model. It can also known as parallel plate models. So, a viscous liquid is flows between two plates. We can see the behavior of the flow in the lab and compare with the groundwater flow. But this model is also not at present use, but we will, because historical development started, we should talk about this, and it was prepared first by Halesa. Second model is the membrane model. Just like water flows, viscous liquid flows between two plates in viscous liquid model, here water is flows in a stretched thin membrane which is made up of rubber. So, this is known as, here Darcy law is also used, and our equation d square h upon dr square plus 1 upon r dou h into dou r is used here in this model. So, this is a second type of model, membrane model. Third model is the Morey pattern model. In this model, it is related to the optical phenomena. A pattern is developed due to this optical phenomena. So, we will call it Morey pattern phenomena, and it is by this model we can see the groundwater flow also in the form of optical phenomena. And fourth model is the thermal model. Now, this model is also important. Our aquifer parameter is converted into the thermal parameter. For example, hydraulic conductivity is by thermal conductivity here. Here storage, aquifer storage is related to the model thickness into density into specific heat. Head is flow of heat, head is related to the temperature, right. So, these parameters are converted into thermal and model is made, and so because I have told you flow of heat is similar to the groundwater flow, there is analogy between the heat flow and groundwater flow. So, on this basis we have seen that whatever the behavior of the heat flow, this will be the behavior of the groundwater flow. So, this is a thermal model. Now, another model is the paper blotting model. It is also good for the demonstration. Here in this model, we will use the, as name suggests, we use the blotting paper model, blotting paper. So, a paper of a particular shape is hung between two stands there, and water is sent from the edges of the blotting paper, and ink dot is placed there. So, if water will soaked by the blotting paper, and you will see that wherever the water moves, you will get it is determined by the ink dots which was placed on the water table, in which direction water has moved. So, this is about the blotting paper model, and so these are the 5 types of miscellaneous analog models. Electric analog model. These models are based on the flow of the electricity. So, there is Ohm's law and there is Darcy's law. They are related to each other, heat flow. So, if suppose current is there, I equal to minus tau dE upon. So, if this is I means applied current, this is a specific conductance, and this is the voltage, this is gradient. Similarly, Darcy law, V equal to minus K dH upon ds. So, this is what is K. K is the high leg conductivity. Here H is the head. So, this is a height leg gradient here, dH upon ds is the height leg gradient, d upon dx is there is the voltage gradient. So, electric flow is equivalent to the groundwater flow. So, one is the Darcy law, another is the Ohm's law. They are similar. On the basis of this similarity, models are developed in the lab, and these electric analog models are of two types. Number one is continuous system type, another is a discrete system type. So, continuous system type means here conductive liquid is used in the measurement of the electricity. So, it is a conductive liquid model, and all groundwater properties are modeled in a conductive liquid. So, this is a conductive liquid model. In discrete system, there is a electric elements network. So, electric elements network is there. These are the resistant capacitor network one, another is the resistant network only. So, it means continuous system model are of two types, conductive liquid model, conductive solid model. These are continuous system. Discrete system has two models, resistance capacitors network and resistance network. These are the discrete system model. So, in first I will tell you about the conductive liquid model. Here insulated box is there in which copper sulphate solution is filled and electrode are placed there, and electric flow took place, and that electric flow is similar to the flow of the groundwater. So, we will determine by the heat flow, we can also say that because there is a height leg gradient, there is a voltage gradient, they are equal. So, what is the voltage gradient took place? It is equivalent to the height leg gradient in the groundwater. So, they are by the conductive liquid model, groundwater flow can be predicted. In this conductive solid model, instead of liquid copper sulphate solution, we have used the base shaped pressed carbon is used here. Here gelatin mixture is used, saline gelatin mixture is used, carbonized paper is used, copper sheet is used for this purpose. Otherwise, it is the same, only thing difference here is only instead of liquid, that is copper sulphate solution, we are using the pressed carbon, base shaped pressed carbon, and we will flow the current, determine the voltage gradient. So, it will be similar to the conductive liquid model, and we will determine the groundwater flow in this. In the discrete model, so steady state condition, and these are in the 2 dimension flow. We are getting the flow in 2 dimension for the steady state conditions. For the confined aquifers also we will get. So, now I will tell you resistance capacitance network. As the name suggests in this model, resistor and capacitors are used. A analyzer is coupled in this. So, resistors are inversely proportional to the transmissivity of the aquifer. Capacitors are directly proportional to the aquifer storage, you see here. So, in this, by the measurement of the voltage gradient, we will able to say about the groundwater flow by this model. So, this is capacitance resistance network. Another network is the resistance network only. As the name suggests, capacitors are not used in this model. analyzer is coupled in this with the analog here also, but so here only resistors are used. So, we are using the only transmissibility, we will determine the transmissibility. No storage element is determined in this model because capacitors are not used in this model. So, this is about the resistance network, about the electrical analog model. I will tell you now digital computer model. This is 4 type of model, and these computers nowadays are widely used in the groundwater modeling studies. So, we will familiar with these modeling techniques which are used in the computer. The same groundwater flow equation which we have studied are used in this solving the problem groundwater flow modeling with the computer. As the name indicate, digital computer model, these are very quick, they will give you the very quick results, and everybody are using now these modeling techniques for the management of the groundwater or study of the groundwater. We can say that this is a era of computer. Computer technology is rapidly growing and advancement took place in the computer. So, what is this computer modeling techniques which are used? Generally, here in computer 2 type of methods are used. One is known as finite difference method, another method is finite element method. So, I will tell you first finite difference method. In finite difference method, the basic principle which is used, inflow minus outflow equal to change in storage. This is the fundamental equation. Or for a small fraction we can say that sum of subsurface storage plus net flow 2R from surface equal to change in storage. So, here also our general flow equation is used in this technique or method. Here the whole aquifer in this method is divided into the grids, and for each grid flow is calculated and sum of will give you the total flow of the. So, this grid which is divided aquifer into the polygon forms in this method. Whole aquifer is divided into the polygon grids. So, this is a finite difference method, first method which is used in the groundwater modeling. Another method, finite element method, you can say this is new method. So, it is also having the same groundwater principles, groundwater flow equations. Here instead of polygon, the whole aquifer is divided into the triangles or quadrilaterals. Generally, it is divided aquifer, whole aquifer is divided into triangles, and side of triangle is known as node. So, this is a element, you can say this is a element of a aquifer, one element, one triangle is a one element of the. So, we will determine, so we will count all the elements in this method and we will determine the flow of the whole area. And now there are different computer programs made for solving the equations. For example, I am giving the computer program ModFlow or software which is used in the study of Banar. For example, if you want to do contours, prepare the contour, surfer is there, ModFlow is there for study. For chemical plotting, quality determination, ChemPlot is there, Visual Flow is there. So many computer programs are now available, you can use. and so many program. For example, for generation of the digitization of the map is there, AutoCAD is there, you are using the ArcGIS program is there. So many number of computers you can programming is there, you can use, and quickly you can get the results with these computers. So, this is about the digital computer modeling, in which two methods, difference and finite method is used. Finite difference method and finite element method is used. Now, hybrid computer, another computer is known as hybrid. What is hybrid computer? Hybrid computer is a computer, digital computer with resistance network becomes the hybrid computer. So, this is also used in the, now in groundwater management studies, these computers are very well used, and these are now used in the every subject. Any type of problem is there, computer program is there. So, this is all about the fourth type of models, that is digital computer model. Now, I will tell you about the hydrologic method of the groundwater exploration. I have completed hydrogeologic methods. Now, hydrologic methods are very important methods. There are three methods. Number one is well inventory method. Number second is the rainfall method. Third is the tracer techniques. So, first well inventory method. What do you understand by well inventory? Well inventory is keeping the records, complete record of wells in the field during the groundwater survey. So, well inventory data are very important data, essential data for the preparation of the groundwater maps, and these groundwater maps are useful in exploration of groundwater. So, if any virgin area is there, no wells are there, then you should drill a test hole there, measure the water level, depth of the water level, and prepare a water table contour maps. So, it is a very important one of the groundwater maps, water table contour maps. With this well inventory data, you can prepare the water table fluctuation map, depth to water table map, pre-monsoon and post-monsoon both are prepared. So, these maps, if you are used in the groundwater exploration, or for water table contour map is used in the giving new sites of the well, where the well is drilled. If you have a water table map of the area, water table contour map or water table map of the area, this will give you the information regarding the aquifer. Water table fluctuation is very important, and from this you can determine the recharge. If you have water table fluctuation map, you can get the annual recharge took place. By the formula is there, annual recharge equal to culturable area into a specific yield into water table fluctuation, it will give you the annual recharge. So, annual recharge is very important. So, in the management of the groundwater, you see, this is very important. Now, next method is the rainfall method. In rainfall, actually it is related to the rainfall analysis of the area. And I will tell you, before proceed any type of method, you should, in the groundwater survey, you should have a analysis of the rainfall data of that area. Rainfall records should be collected. It will give you the rainy days, what are the number of rainy days, what is the intensity of the rainfall. So, you analyze the rainfall data. If suppose you have got 50 years data or 100 years data, you will get a you will prepare the residual mass curve, you determine the average rainfall, and above the rainfall, what is the number of years which have a rainfall above the average, below the average. So, above the rainfall, these are the water surplus year. Below the average of 50 years or 100 years, it is a water deficit year. So, you can see. So, if you prepare residual mass curve, you will get a cycle of. If you prepare 100 years data, you will see that there is a repetition of the rainfall. 5 years cycle is there or 10 years cycle is there, you can get by the rainfall data. So, with the help of the rainfall also, there is formula which you can determine the annual recharge of the rainfall. Naturally, a area which have a huge rainfall or less rainfall. So, this is a general. By seeing the rainfall record of an area, you will get idea about the groundwater potential of the area. So, annual recharge by the rainfall can be calculated. Annual recharge equal to geographical area into infiltration index into the rainfall, annual rainfall, you will get the annual recharge. So, annual recharge you can get. So, have you idea what is the annual recharge? If you determine the annual draft of the area, you will get the groundwater bursting. Water is available for the further exploitation. So, new wells can be recommended or overdraft is there. So, whatever it is there, it will give you an idea about with the help of the rainfall. So, rainfall analysis is very, very important in the groundwater. Any person or any geologist, hydrogeologist who start the groundwater survey in an area, first he should collect the rainfall data, hydrometeorological data, even temperature also, not only rainfall is the most important, but other data also. What is the temperature of the area data, what is the humidity data you should collect, and that will give you a very good picture about the availability of groundwater resource of that area. And you see the rock type, what are the rock type are there. So, these are the two methods, well inventory methods and rainfall method I have told you. Now, coming to the third method, that is the tracer techniques. Now, it is also known as nuclear techniques, use of nuclear techniques or tracer techniques in hydrology, groundwater hydrology. These methods are widely used nowadays, but you see use of tracer is harmful. So, everybody cannot use tracer. Sometimes tracers are harmful to the health. So, a good training is given to the hydrogeologists which are using tracer techniques. By using the tracer techniques, you can determine the velocity of the flow easily, direction of the groundwater flow, you can determine the hydraulic conductivity of the. So, if tracer techniques is there, tracer tests are conducted in the field. We drill 2 boreholes at the upstream and the downstream. In first borehole we inject the tracer, in downstream we will collect the arrival of the tracer, we monitoring the water sample in the second borehole. So, by knowing the distance between 2 boreholes, that is the L, the time arrival is the T for the tracer from the one borehole to another downstream borehole, and the hydraulic difference, what is the difference between the, that is the head loss, means what is the hydraulic gradient there you can see. So, you can determine the K equal to alpha L square upon HT, where alpha is the porosity, L is the distance between the 2 boreholes, H is the difference in water level between 2 boreholes, and T is the time of arrival of the tracer. And these tracers can be detected, tracer are may be different classified on the method of their detection. For example, they can detect by colorimetry, there is a chemical determination, or they can determine by mass spectrophotometer or mass spectrography, or they can determine by the electrical conductivity. So, this completes the groundwater exploration method, hydrogeologic method and the hydrologic method which are used in the groundwater exploration. So, I think you have understand these methods and you will be benefited by this lecture. Thank you very much.